So, hi, welcome. It's me, Susan Morgan, and I am hosting and organizing Contact 2022 this October 14th through 16th in 2022 in Sedona. And with me, I'm excited to have this conversation with Raquel Spring, who lives in Sedona. And thank you, Raquel, very much for coming on and doing this. So you're a well,
A
well,
fourth generation astrologer.
yeah, like I've heard awesome things about you. And I went a little bit, and looked around like on your Facebook page and all, and I'm like pretty impressed. I don't
Yes, I
impress
received
easily.
your friend request yesterday. I was like, yay,
Yeah,
Susan added me.
yeah, I get a vibe about people. I got a vibe right off the bat that you are just outstanding. And
Oh,
so you're going to be speaking about, and this is important, astrologically, what's happening, let alone in our country, on a global scale, because
yeah,
there's so much transitional energy right now. Between now and certainly the next 6 months, maybe even like a year out, like what do you see?
yeah. That's what we're going to be focusing on in the event, right? But I can open this window just a little bit right now and share with you that as you were introducing me, the words just popped up really big in front of me when I was feeling into the energy of 2023 and also 2024. They both go hand in hand. And I just saw really big in front of me new paradigm. This is where the new paradigm comes in for our reality, for us individually, collectively. So, what we're experiencing right now is a very big transition, and this is a transition that has been prophesied and talked about, and in some way we've been preparing for that. So astrologically, this has been my focus recently, is really to help people understand the greater perspective of what this transition is all about, where we're heading into next, and to help everyone navigate this with as much ease and grace and awareness of what's happening.
So then we can
So
respond appropriately, right? If we can see what's coming
absolutely.
towards us, then we respond appropriately. That's what I say in my readings and all, that we respond to it and nothing is written in stone, or we can respond. It doesn't have to be a bad thing. Like,
Absolutely. I mean, you and I were just talking briefly before we began about uh, taking a break, taking some time to rest during these upcoming months or the end of 2021, 2022. And I was just saying how this is such a fantastic idea because the rest of the world is going to be on steroids, capital go.
okay.
Okay. Yes. And so when we know these things ahead of time, it's exactly what you're saying. You can prepare accordingly. And so while the world is going to be on this extreme go mode during the entire rest of the year, it's almost like everything begins to culminate now
But
in
but but
preparation for the new paradigm.
but it's
Mm,
not like, oh, go in an organized way. At least psychically,
No,
I see it
no.
very chaotic like this.
Very chaotic, very chaotic. This is the final stage, well, final quote unquote, but
Right.
there's been three powerful squares between Saturn and Uranus, and we're heading into the last one. So just to give a little background on the planets Uranus and Saturn, Saturn represents structures. Saturn represents laws. Saturn represents boundaries. So this is everything that keeps us in order, right? In a paradigm.
And
And
in a male paradigm apt to that. So it's a
yes,
very
Saturn is
male
very,
energy,
very much the
patriarchy.
father and yes, and the authority and
Yeah.
patriarchy as well. And let's remember also that Saturn is the ruler of Capricorn,
Mm-hmm.
which is where Pluto is at. And Pluto is another very key figure in this whole theme over here, especially with the USA's Pluto return.
Right.
So Saturn is really embodying this patriarchy energy right now, and the governments and the structures of society, especially on a global level.
Yep.
And then Uranus comes in. Uranus is the one who represents the abrupt disruption of anything that is the status quo. And Uranus's real purpose at the end of the day, the essence of Uranus is to bring freedom.
Yep.
Freedom of perception, freedom of expression, freedom of awareness. So Uranus comes in with the most controversial and revolutionary observations and ways of interacting with others. And sometimes it can be quite drastic because
Yep.
Uranus doesn't care. Uranus is radical. So when Uranus and Saturn come together, especially in a square, this really brings the factor of the old versus the new, the control versus the freedom that's trying to come in. So
And
this
you
has
can't,
been,
and you can't stop Uranus either, can you? I mean, it's
oh,
not like, oh, well, we're going to control Uranus. Oh, yeah, good luck. No, you can't.
no,
It's a force unto itself. So it's non-negotiable. It thinks about it
it's
change.
non-negotiable. It's his role. His role is to break the paradigms and to be revolutionary and to think outside the box and to bring the new. Now, the interesting thing is that Uranus is also the ruler of Aquarius.
I'm Aquarian. That's how I know about Uranus. I have to make friends with Uranus or it's going to break me down. So I'm
Right?
used to, you think you're going this way, and then you go this way. And
There you go. You got it. You got it. I have Uranus on my ascendant in my natal chart. So I had to make peace with the fact that it just is what it is.
that's what it
Right?
is.
So when Uranus, yeah, Uranus represents Aquarius, which is the energy that we're ushering into our new matrix to be the new foundation of our reality. So, and that it's also an interesting observation that Saturn is the old ruler year of Aquarius, and Uranus is the modern.
I did not know that.
Yes, yes. And
When
so
was,
that
wait, hold on a
even
second. When did that happen? When was Saturn associated with Aquarius? About?
well, we do have, the ancient astrology when we first were taught and astrology was brought into the world and for humanity, we didn't have the outer planets discovered yet. So
Okay.
there are some planets that used to rule. For example, Mars ruled Scorpio
I can
and Aries.
I can see that.
So Saturn ruled Aquarius. Saturn was the old ruler of Aquarius, and he still is, according to more of the ancient astrology traditions. But once Aquarius came into the picture, he assumed this role of being the ruler of Aquarius. So it's an interesting observation to also see both of them in this square. It really represents the ending of an era and the beginning of the new one. And even the two rulers in this apparently defined square, right? So this is all culminating at the end of the year, really bringing that rebellion factor into the picture, which is the natural process of the ending of the old era. So with this we are going to see an emphasis on rebellion, global rebellion, just people starting to speak up more, a lot of truth, more truth being revealed.
Yep.
During the same time, we have the planet Mars, who is going to be retrograde. This is also what I was talking to you about, which is where this is where you picked up psychically on that chaotic energy.
Yeah.
Because Mars retrograde does exactly that. It puts people on this extreme go mode. But it's a go mode that's actually meant to be used as introspection. And it actually brings out, because we start to feel so much energy and we start to see this things that have been suppressed inside to be pushed out. And this is where we're going to see a lot in the world also of the people speaking up and a lot of that old versus the new coming together in this grand finale.
Yeah.
So there's going to be a lot of energy. And of course, this is all culminating with the eclipses as well. We have an eclipse in Scorpio coming up. So there's a lot of momentum, and knowing these things ahead of time allows us to ease into the process and not get lost in the story. There is a stage of 2023 that I see distinctively divided into two phases, which is the new that's going to be coming in,
Yeah.
and the last little bit of the old, that at the second half of 2023 there may be a revisiting of some of the themes that we're closing. So
Okay.
this is where the old may just try to hang on for dear life, just one more go, because this is the time that Pluto will go back into Capricorn. So basically, if we keep an eye out on Pluto right now, we have a good idea of the timing of these events and the flow and the direction of this energy. And what's happening right now is that Pluto, who has been in Capricorn since 2008, okay, and you can go back in time and those dates and
Ah,
correlate with some of the events around that time too. But 2008 really was the beginning of the dissolving of the structures, financial
absolutely.
structures, especially.
Absolutely. I remember.
Yeah,
I remember.
yeah.
Yeah.
And you can see that individually as well in your own chart. If you go back to 2008, when Pluto first went into Capricorn for the world, he also activated your Capricorn house. And that was the beginning for a lot of people, especially if their house corresponds to the beginning of Capricorn. 2008 was the beginning of the destruction, if you will, of our foundations.
Absolutely.
Now, for this, for everybody has an individual expression of where their foundations are at. This corresponds to Capricorn in their chart. And this started to undergo a massive change ever since. For the world, this really started to focus on the matrix, the financial systems, especially in a lot of areas of the government as well. And that has been eroding slowly ever since. And so in 2019, and especially in 2020 with COVID and everything, but 2019, we had some very rare alignments where that same Pluto, who had been slowly traveling through Capricorn, received a conjunction from Saturn and Jupiter all at the same time. I mean, it was like an epic meetup that they all had in Capricorn, really initiating the visible experience of all of that. So since then, since 2020, we've been in crunch time, basically wrapping up this journey of Pluto and Capricorn. And this journey is now concluding in the years 2023 and 2024. And when
And then where is Pluto going after that? Do you know?
Aquarius, and this is the big moment here, because Pluto is the slowest moving planet in the zodiac. And, even just for Pluto to enter a sign is a big deal. But for Pluto to enter a new sign during this time that we're in, it really is emphasizing the old system dissolving as per Capricorn, and the ushering in not only of the air element, we can talk about that afterwards, what that means, but also specifically the age of Aquarius.
Hallelujah.
Yes. So this is, the age of Aquarius, there isn't a specific date of when it comes in and when it begins and when it ends. It really is a transition over the next couple hundred years that we're going to be fully migrating into. And there's been many stages already where we've initiated this Aquarius energy into our reality, but this is going to be probably the most significant one up until now, when Pluto enters Aquarius and activates that 0-degree Aquarius. And this is where we as humanity are finally going to be vibrationally ready to receive the new reality.
Yep.
So it is a preparation and it is gradual, but when Pluto enters Aquarius, the alignments are there to fully support the transition. So Pluto enters Aquarius 2 days after the spring equinox. This is going to be on March 23, I believe, of 2023. And when he does that, this is going to initiate a little period where we're going to get a glimpse of that energy.
Yeah. Oh, wonderful.
Yes, because he's going to stay in Aquarius, giving us a glimpse of that for the next few months. And then in July, I believe, he goes back into Capricorn because he retrogrades.
A little adjustment for everybody.
Yes, and gives us a little period up until the end of the year with that last little bit of the old that is dissolving.
Yep.
And then he enters for good from January 2024 on. So this is why we are going to have that the little taste of the new paradigm coming in. And we are going to see that in many ways. There are going to be new levels of truth and disclosure coming up as well. And this is going to be a special window from after the spring equinox up until the summer solstice. This is going to be a little window where we're going to see that new coming in, new leaders coming into the picture, and the new just wanting to come in more than.
Are you from Sedona? I know you live in Sedona now. Are you from Sedona? Where are you
I'm
from?
from Brazil.
Oh,
Yes, I'm from Brazil. I've been living in the US since 2016 and in Sedona since March 2020.
so what brought you to Sedona?
It seems like most people that live here have a similar story where they weren't planning it and it just happened.
Yep.
So, yes, it was just a combination of factors. I heard the land and Gaia speak to me and say that if I came here, more would be revealed to me and they would open up to me. At the same time, I got an invitation to participate of a retreat that ended up not happening because of COVID. But I came for that retreat and I had a friend here as well, and it just kind of coincided. And I was going to stay just for a few months. And then Sedona said, not yet, and has kept me here ever since.
Yeah, well, they say when I was there at my last event, they said Sedona either sucks you in or spits you out. And they said, Susan Morgan, it has sucked you in. And
I tried to go. I tried to go. Last year there were some big fires and I said, "You know what? I'm not doing this. Like I don't need to do this. So I'm going, and when this is all done, you call me back." And as soon as I said that, every door closed and every door in Sedona started to open up for me like, "Stay here, stay here." The fire stopped, and so I'm still here. I love this place. I love this
it's
place.
a fantastic place. Do you get to go back to Brazil though?
I've just been so enamored with this country that I don't plan yet of going back, but who knows? Who knows?
Isn't that
In a
nice?
few years, yes, I think I will. I really feel this is my home. The US is my home. I actually recently became a citizen.
Wow,
So, yeah,
congratulations.
yes, I've embraced this land as my own.
That's fantastic. So if people want to get more information about you, because I know you work, you have a pretty good, client base, you're busy. What,
Yes.
you have a website, or I know, like, how do they get a hold of you?
Yeah, my name Raquel, that's Rachel in Portuguese. So Raquel. And my last name is Spring, as in the season spring. So raquelspring.com is
Yep.
my website. And if you search Raquel Spring Astrology on the internet, you can find my YouTube channel, Facebook, and social media platforms. And yeah, on my website, you can definitely understand more about your personal blueprints and how they are interacting with this massive transition we're in. Because I do one-on-one private sessions where I help each person understand their role in this transition so that you can navigate that with ease and grace.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a session with you.
I'm
My
so excited.
Saturn's in Capricorn. So I
Oh
gotta,
my
oh my
goodness.
God, like it's been, I mean, 2008 was definitely a line of demarcation, mainly of just working constantly. And
Yeah,
it was picking up like somebody like, yeah, pull Pluto into another thing, please. Thank you. Like enough
yeah,
already.
yeah.
Anyways,
Yes. I began to dream and have experiences every night with astrology. Every night for a year and a half, I was taken up or here having intense experiences with astrology and learning and teaching. And by the end of that, I had a wealth of knowledge and information that far surpassed the time that I had been learning here on earth. So I opened a school to start to teach because I had so many people that would start to have instantaneous life-changing transformations in front of me through the sessions that I would have with them. And so they were like, "What are you doing? I want to learn. I want to do what you're doing." So that's how my school began. And I said, "I'm not going to be doing sessions forever." I could hardly keep up with all the sessions coming in. I was booked out 6 months in advance. So I said, "I want to teach you how to do this. Like,
yes.
I'm not here to be spoon feeding people. So let me teach you." So today I have a school and I have a lot of students from all over the world that most of them are just regular clients who come to me for session and are blown away. They're like, "I want to learn this." So yeah,
So
that's
what's
where
the
I'm
name
at.
of the school? Is
What's
it,
that?
what's the name of the school? Is it Raquel Spring? Is
It's called the Astrology Mentorship Program.
okay.
Yes, and that's in my website too. So if you go to my website, you can go to Learn Astrology. or the workshop section. And yeah, we have an online school
Very
there.
interesting. Well, I
Yeah.
hope everyone checks it out. You will be speaking on Saturday, which is the Women's Day. Yes, I hope people come out to see you, and I'm giving you some time to not only talk, but to also take questions afterwards, so people can
Mhm.
ask very specific questions. And I'm hoping you'll be there from, at least the bulk of the event even. People can
Yes, I
come
plan
to-
on it. I've blocked my whole schedule. I would love to participate in the whole event as much
Yeah.
as possible.
So people can come and connect with you. You have a really high vibe. I mean,
Mm,
anyone that's got eyes can see this. You've got a really pristine high vibe. So I
thank
am
you,
very
Susan.
grateful that you're going to be speaking.
Mm,
And so thank you. And again, it's raquelspring.com.
yep,
Yep.
that's
And,
it.
and come and see her on
I
Saturday,
will see you
October
there.
15th. Okay.